Welcome to the Mindfulness Meditation Podcast presented by the Rubin Museum of Himalayan Art, a global museum dedicated to bringing greater awareness and understanding of Himalayan art to people around the world. I'm your host, Tashi Churdern. Every Thursday, we offer a meditation session at New York Insight Meditation Center that draws inspiration from an artwork from the Rubens collection and is led by a prominent meditation teacher. This podcast is a recording of our weekly in-person practice. The description of each episode includes information about the theme for that week's session and an image of the related artwork. Our Mindfulness Meditation Podcast is presented in partnership with Sharon Salzberg and teachers from the New York Insight Meditation Center, the Interdependence Project, and Parabola Magazine, and supported by the Frederick P. Lenz Foundation for American Buddhism. And now, please enjoy your practice.
Welcome to the Rubin Museum of Himalayan Art's Mindfulness Meditation Program at New York Insight Meditation Center. I'm Jacqueline Smith, Manager of Programs and Education, and I'm delighted to be your host today. The Rubin is a global hub for Himalayan art, and we are so glad to have all of you join us for our weekly program where we combine art and meditation. Inspired by our collection, we will first take a deep look at a work of art that we've chosen for today. We will then hear a brief talk from our teacher, Michel Pascal, and then we will have a short sit of 15 to 20 minutes for the meditation guided by him. Let's take a look at today's theme and artwork. The theme for the month of December is illumination, and the work of art that we've chosen for today is the Coral Mask of Begse. It's from Mongolia, and it was made in the early 20th century. It's made of paper mache, coral, metal, and fabric, and it is approximately 20 inches high and 19 inches wide, so it's large enough to wear. It's an example of a ritual object, and masks such as this one are donned during Sam dances. The intention behind wearing the mask is to dispel the forces that obstruct us as we move forward towards a state of illumination. Begse, he's the protector of the leader of Mongolian Buddhism, the Bogda Gegin. Begse plays a prominent role in Mongolian ritual dance. In Mongolian monasteries, an annual masked dance known as Sam, Cham in Tibetan, focuses on the elimination of negative energies, specifically the eradication of forces that block the path to enlightenment. This mask is exceptionally rare. Masks such as this one were made only in Mongolia, and only a few are known to exist. It is decorated with roughly 6,000 pieces of coral. As you can imagine, it is considerably heavy. It would have been worn by a specially selected strong young monk who could manage the weight. A framework inside of the mask enabled the monk to see through the mouth of the mask. This mask is a potent visual reminder of the mental fortitude required to nullify the forces that bind us. Our regular mindfulness meditation host, Tashi, is currently in India, and she sends all of you her love. And she's currently visiting pilgrimage sites throughout the south of India and has us in mind as she visits all of these sacred places. Now let's bring on our teacher for today, Michel Pascal. Michel, a meditation teacher for 25 years, has led successful programs for prisoners which help prevent suicides and reduce reoffending. He's written 20 books on spirituality, including Meditation for Daily Stress, 10 Practices for Immediate Well-Being. Known as the Medicine Voice, he's performed at Carnegie Hall and played at the Peace Day concert in Times Square in September of 2023. In December of 2023, he presented his methods at the United Nations. Michelle recently opened a meditation school in Los Angeles to serve military veterans. Michelle, thank you so much. We're honored that you're here.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Om Mani, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Padme Hum. In Tibetan it means, may all I can say today be full of love. All I can think today be full of love. All I can do today be full of love. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani, Om Mani Padme Hum. Pemeum Omani Pemeum Omani Pemeum Omani 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 You Omani Good afternoon to each of you. Tashidele. It's an honor for me to be with you, with the Rubin Museum at Insight Meditation. So, since 10 years, I direct the meditation for the prisoners of Los Angeles at Amity Foundation. I was disciple of Chepa Dorje Rinpoche. He was born in the Kham, like my friend Geshe Jampa in Tibet. And I have adapted meditation for our crazy world. So It's very interesting, as my Rinpoche said, that meditation, it is not a technique. It is a transmission of energy. When we say that, it can be surprise because most of time we assimilate that meditation, it's a technique. Of course, there is posture, there is breathing exercise. But as Rinpoche say, posture, breathing exercise, this is 1%. 99%. This is what we name in Tibetan lung. Lung in Tibetan means the transmission of energy. So this is the reason why the benefit of a meditation class depends on the calming energy of the teacher. Because we transmit our energy. If as a teacher we are stressed, if our mind is not stable, we share our stressful energy and you inhale the stressful energy. But if the teacher is calm, stable, and it's not easy, you receive, you inhale, you breathing the calming energy. And it's very interesting because I work a lot in neuroscience, and in neuroscience we know that there is what the scientists name the mirror neurons. So you know maybe the mirror neurons, it means that when someone quiet talk to us, there is a mirror effect with our neurons. So it calm you, it calm me. In contemporary psychology, psychologists explain that when someone talk to us, what we keep, this is not the words of the person. This is the energy of the person, the sensation, what we feel from the person. This is the reason why, again, meditation, it is a transmission of energy. I say that to you because when we teach for prisoners, you can imagine they have no attention. They have a lot of PTSD. You know that the attention span today, this is 3 seconds. This is the last research of Microsoft. After 3 seconds, you don't listen to me. So we cannot talk to someone's stress. We cannot say, oh, take a deep breath, be grateful. Prisoners, they say to me, Michel, if you say to us, take a deep breath, they say, you don't realize how life is difficult. Just you copy-paste your old map. And I said to them, we cannot talk to someone's stress, but we can tune someone's stress. Because all is magnetic fields, all is energy. When we are calm as a teacher, or not as a teacher, when we are calm, immediately there is a calming energy. We can feel that in the room. When I entered today, I felt the benefit of all the prayers, the session, James, that you give here. It's invisible, but we can feel that. So I wanted just to develop this short teaching that meditation, it's lung in Tibetan, the transmission of energy. Most of time we forget that. We just pay attention of the exercise, the breathing work, the posture, but we forget it's a transmission of energy. There is the mirror effect, and it's like neuroscientists talk about a resonance. It's like a resonance who enter in our brain. And as you know, every cell of our body is connected to the frontal cortex. So, for example, there is a lot of research when someone talks quietly to us, we modify the pH in the esophagus. For example, if you have some gastric reflux from the stress, just to listen, a calming energy, modify the pH and reduce the acidity in the esophagus or in the stomach. So today I will lead a meditation for you. And today I have chosen to honor Geshe Jampa, my friend. He comes specially from Sera Monastery. And at the end, he will give the blessing for each of us. But when we talk about Geshe Jampa, when we talk about Kathmandu, about the mask, I was living at Kopan Monastery in Nepal. I remember one day I asked to my Rinpoche, Chepa Dorje, what does it mean meditation, according you? And I will never forget what he said. He said, you will be surprised. He said, oh, Michel, meditation, it doesn't exist. Nothing exists. Okay? He said, but if you sit like a mountain, you will feel all the meditation of the mountain in your heart. So I will lead you to practice like a mountain, a few minutes. Just you can close your eyes. And this is one of the practices that we do with the prisoners. We are sitting down like a mountain. We do nothing. Just we are sitting down like a mountain in the middle of New York City. Around us, 11 million people. But in the middle of New York City, we are sitting down like a mountain. And we visualize a mountain, a huge mountain. The mountain is grounded, stable. The mountain is in eternity. Every day we say, I am busy. I am busy. But when we meditate like a mountain, we are not busy. We are in eternity, like a mountain. So we visualize a mountain, a huge mountain. We see the mountain is in eternity, and we will breathe in the eternity of the mountain. We will hold our breath 1 second. We will hold the eternity in our mind. And when we will exhale, we will diffuse the eternity of the mountain in our body. So we visualize a mountain, we see the eternity of the mountain, and all together we breathe in the eternity like that. Hold, exhale, eternity. And immediately we can feel the eternity in our body. Let's do it again. We visualize the mountain. We see the eternity of the mountain. And we breathe in the eternity together like that. Exhale, eternity. Again, breathe in eternity. Exhale, eternity. And we stay like that in eternity. 1 second. In eternity. No thoughts, no emotions. We are in eternity. 2 seconds. 3, 4, 5 seconds in eternity. Umani pemeum, umani pemeum, umani pemeum, umani pemeum. When we meditate like a mountain, you can feel the moment. It's not I meditate, but the mountain is meditating inside of us. The mountain is breathing inside of us. When we meditate like a mountain, we become a mountain. In the middle of New York City, in the middle of your daily life, in any situations, you can be in 1 second like a mountain, not busy, but in eternity.
We are most grateful to you, Michelle, for leading us in that meditation and for everything that you do to guide us forward on the path to illumination.
That concludes this week's practice. To support the Rubin and this meditation series, we invite you to become a friend of the Rubin at rubinmuseum.org/friends. If you are looking for more inspiring content, please check out our other podcast, Awaken, which uses art to explore the dynamic paths to enlightenment and what it means to wake up. Season 4, hosted by Isabella Rossellini, delves into the Buddhist concept of attachment and explores how the practice of letting go can transform our experience of the world. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. And to learn more about the Rubin Museum's work around the world, visit rubinmuseum.org. Thank you for listening. Have a mindful day.